nerves get to you? I don't know. Is he there? We might have a bad connection. Are you there, Ethan?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. When the white flag drops, you're leading. You know Thornton's back there. What was that last lap like for you?
I was pretty much just waiting for a slider, just getting ready to cut back underneath him, but he didn't throw one on the last lap, so that kind of told me I had a couple car lanes. So didn't make any mistake. Okay.
Well, he threw a couple sliders on you during that race, and both times neither one of them worked out because you drove right past him on both occasions. You said you were kind of expecting that on the last lap. Coming to the checkered flags, you got the win. Victory lane, what was that experience like for you?
That was awesome. You know what I mean? That's a race that I've been going to.
Where we keep losing him.
And then it was kind of then yesterday, for him to make the show, and then we made the show, and then it was just bring the win. Just kind of a dream come true, really.
Absolutely. I mean, like you just said, making the show there is a big deal. It shows you're one of the elite drivers in the country in that modified ranks, and to win it and walk out of there as the man, I mean, that's a big deal. Now you're heading out to Arkansas for the Hope 74, another deal that's going to have just as much talent, arguably, at Batesville Speedway. Tell us a little bit about that race, because that's a kind of a new thing the last 3-4 years with Mark Martin, correct?
Yeah, it's an awesome deal. Pays great, pays down great, and hopefully the racetrack's a little smoother this year. They got a bunch of rain, and the weather ain't looking in our favor again this year. It's calls for rain in the first couple of days, so hopefully that'll clear up, and we could have a good racetrack and put on a good show. No
doubt, man. I want to wish you the best of luck there. It'd be great for you to go out there and win that one as well. And is Cody going to be there with you in that one?
Yeah, he should be there.
Good deal. Now, I know one place we won't have to worry about weather is the Budweiser Nationals in Bakersfield, kind of one of your home tracks. You've been very successful there in the past, the Budweiser Nationals, and I know that you have plans of attending that show this year.
Yep, we'll be there, and hopefully we get another guitar.
How many guitars do you have now?
2.
2, okay. I think you got a pretty good chance of walking out of there with another one this year, man. Phenomenal. So let me ask you, after winning the Boone Super Nationals, and you know everybody that wins that deal, the experience afterwards with possible potential sponsors and product coming your way, has it been a big change to your racing program after that win?
Not really much so far. I mean, we got some really awesome contingencies and a bunch of cool stuff, and we appreciate it from all them guys. And but no, actually, I'm at Deer Creek Speedway right now at a USMTS race. I'm gonna drive a car for Jesse Hoskins this weekend. So
very cool. So earlier in the show, we were talking about your big win there, and what it means to win that event for any modified driver. Any chassis manufacturers, have they approached you? And even if they did, would you make a change given where you're at right now with your program?
Sorry, I got bad service here.
Go ahead, we got you.
You hear me?
Yep, got you. Perfect.
Go ahead, ready.
Okay, so what I said was, after winning that big race, has there been any chassis manufacturers that have thrown anything or made some offers to you? And if so, given where you're at in your program right now, would you even consider making a change?
There hasn't been none, and I probably wouldn't make it on.
Yeah.
I have a Victory Circle car, and I'm pretty happy with them guys right now. So just keep on doing that deal for a while, hopefully.
Yeah, I stated on the show, I doubt you'd be making a change with this chassis given what you've done with that thing, and I know that you've got a good relationship with them and other sponsors on the car that have helped your program, and you guys have been phenomenal over the course of the last 3, 4, 5 years, getting better all the time, watching the Bud Nationals and what you've done down there and how you always come in as one of the guys everybody's talking about. It's great to see. It's great to see the West Coast talent back there winning some of the big stuff. And, man, I'm excited just to see the Bud Nationals again. It's one race that we look forward to every year. It's kind of like our version of Boone, if you want to call it that, down there in Bakersfield, given the talent that comes into Bakersfield for that show.
Yeah, no, I really look forward to that show too. Scott Schweitzer, his family have been very good to me, and we're always super excited to go back and run what I'm lucky to call my home track.
Absolutely. Schweitzer family, wonderful people, genuine people, and I know you guys have a good relationship with them. When will you be heading back out west?
I'm going to go to Batesville, and then I'll go home after that. So I think that's like a week before Bud Nationals, and hang out, get the car all ready, and run the Bud Nationals, and hopefully get us another guitar.
Man, I want to wish you the best of luck. I know you are a very, very busy man back there right now, and I was actually on the phone with Justin Duty the other day as you were just walking away. You and Justin had a good conversation. Justin has said that there is a really, really good chance they'll be down at the Bud Nationals. Haven't quite committed yet, but kind of cool to see some of the West Coast guys out there in different divisions even hanging out.
Yeah, for sure. Justin's a good buddy, and hopefully he makes her down to the Bud Nationals too.
I'm really hoping that he'll be down there because I'd love to see the Oregon-California rivalry, if you want to call it that. It's always a fun event for those guys to get out there and bang doors and talk a little smack. And we saw some good hype, with what happened 2 years ago with Joey Tanner and Clay Daly. I mean, you remember that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't forget that one. Man, I really want to say thanks for calling in, and I want you to, before you get off the air, I know you're busy, and I don't want to take too much of your time. Before you get off the air, I want you to, give your sponsors a shout-out and give those guys some airtime and some props.
Chris Stevenson at Victory Circle Race Cars, Bart, and some guys, they helped me out a ton and built a very, very good race car. And can't really thank Danny Fuller enough at CPD Racing Shops. I use his shop, and he helps me out a ton. I mean, the shocks are kind of the new thing of the era now, and he's really got his stuff figured out. And I mean, they're just pretty awesome. Can't thank him enough. Kevin Black, Desert Promotions, Wolfenstein family, they helped me out a ton. I really couldn't do it without them. iBox Springs, my old man, he helps me out a ton. My buddy Chris lets me live with him out here. And, I mean, the list goes on and on. Jager Shot, everybody helps me out. I mean, there's a ton of people, and couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, you've got a really, really good package right now underneath you, and you guys are, I mean, obviously one of the most elite teams in the country. And I know that, I made a statement on Facebook the other day that you didn't just make California proud, you made the entire West Coast proud with that win. And, man, keep doing what you're doing, and looking forward to seeing you in the middle of October at the Bud Nationals. And have a good time doing what you're doing back there, man. You're doing a lot of what any race driver out here would dream of doing, and keep winning, buddy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Right on. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. Ethan, thanks for calling in. We do appreciate it.
Ethan Dotson, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Awesome guy. Talk about laid down, laid back, easy going, just, just a kid having a good time driving race cars and winning the biggest show in the country. Doing it.
He's so humble.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
Oh, yeah, I'm just going to hang out.
Well, and
no
here's the thing.
deal,
That's not Ethan on the phone. That's Ethan, period. Talking with him and his family. Fun group of people. Gary, you're going to find that out at the Bud Nationals. Wendy and Wayne Dotson and the Laneys, they all kind of hang out together. A great group of people. Really, really glad to see what Ethan's doing back there and proud of him and all of our West Coast guys. But to go back there and win it and finish 2 West Coast cars in the top 3, the biggest deal in the country.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty awesome deal. Great to have him on the show. We've talked to them several times at the Bud Nationals. Those guys, when they're at the Bud Nationals, it's like any big show. You don't want to get in and try to take their time too much, with interviews and stuff. We'll do it. But you got to hit that at the right time, because when they're working on those cars, you just don't bother those guys. And again, talking with Ethan over the last couple of days, we had this planned. Tried to get him in the 7 o'clock hour, held true to his word, came in right at 7:30. Awesome deal to have him on the show. That makes me more excited for the Bud Nationals. I mean, just to see can anybody right now walk into Bakersfield and beat him at the Bud Nationals? It's possible. Anybody can win on any given day. But you're also coming in with a big, like I just said, I'm going to the Hope 74, a big race put on by Mark Martin at Batesville. Got a big target on your back. You've now put yourself at the top of the list as far as modified drivers go in the nation. And everybody is gunning for you. The way they gunned for Earnhardt in NASCAR and the way they gunned for Bloomquist when he unloads and, the way they gunned for Kinzer in sprint cars. That's where Ethan Dotson is right now, and that's an elite group of names when you think about what we just said.
Back
awesome
then,
deal.
Earnhardt would just push him out of the way and go on.
See, that is the biggest myth. I watched Earnhardt move cars without ever touching them. The guy was an aerodynamic master. He
intimidated him.
He understood air.
He intimidated him too. They saw him coming, they got out of the way.
Greatest driver on asphalt ever.
He was great.
Fantastic. Yep. 7:40. We've been on the air for an hour and a half, or hour and 45 minutes. Anything you guys want to talk about? I mean.
Well, I think you ought to read the last comment that you got in on the chat line, and then we'll talk about that.
Well, Jason Schultz has become a good friend of us down at Moxie Promotion at Southern Oregon Speedway, and he says, "Great job this year by your group. It really made the shows better for fans and drivers." To us, that right there is the biggest compliment we can receive. Jason, appreciate that. Thank you. That's our goal. That is what we consider our job when we're at the racetrack. It's that right there, making the shows better for fans and drivers. Okay.
I had a really good time down there. It was so much fun. The people were so nice. I mean, we keep saying that, but
we do. But
it's true. They were
it's,
the nicest people to us.
Racing was fun again this year.
It was fun.
The people down there, and talking with Jason the last couple of weeks, he's just like, man, we're coming to the Bud Nationals, and I think he's more excited than anybody I've seen about that race this year, and he showed up a few times at Southern Oregon Speedway, and the car is a fast car. It's a competitive car, and I think he's going to go down and do well if they can get Slick figured out for night number 2. Like anybody, the Slick's going to challenge everybody. Jason has told me that Dustin Knight has committed to going, as well as Eric Massey in the 18. Trying to confirm, because it sounded like we had a really good chance to get Dave Everson down there. So we've got some good representation from the Southern Oregon Coos Bay region, to get down there, and we're still working on some of the guys from other tracks. Sounds like one guy had plans on going, but has backed out as of today, and we're not going to talk about that. It's a long ways to go. You're looking at a 14 to 16-hour tow, depending on where you are in the state of Oregon. Well, 10 if you're down by the California border,
Right.
But, kind of depending on where you're at. But I'm glad to see so far the guys that have committed this early, 3 weeks out, saying, you know what, we're going to take a shot. We worked hard to put together some packages to get some bonus, some purse money down there, and we got $6,000 out of the purse, and that's something else that I'm proud of Moxie Media and Promotions and all of us as the team, what we do. I'm pretty proud of that.
I would just say that it was feels like a successful season. We had a ton of fun. We learned a lot, and we were complimented.
Made friends.
I think Mike McCann is happy with how the season went, and you can sit back and kind of feel good about it,
Well, absolutely. Given the fact that we went into a track that we had never worked as a crew.
And we had some new members.
Right.
So
absolutely. I mean, here's the thing, and Gary and I had this discussion the other night at San Diego. We were talking about it, was the fact that we had basically 3 new members on the team this year.
More than half of us. Yeah.
Were new.
Mm-hmm.
But it was an instant gel. And we came on and we did what we had to do. Everybody gets along. I can't recall one time this summer where there was any type of friction between anybody on this crew.
Not 1 second.
Oh, I can tell you one time.
Tell me.
One time.
If you start singing that song, I will slap you. Don't even go there.
He was going to sing it, wasn't he?
He was going to try to.
Does anybody know of a better photographer than Nina?
No.
Uh,
See, here's the thing about this, too.
I am blown away by her. Seriously.
As good as she is now, She's only going to get better. This was her first